I just realized I've been talking this whole time.
Yeah, there's no audio.
There's no audio. I just
Now there
realized
is.
this whole time I had the greatest monologue, and you guys just missed it.
That's all right. We really didn't want to hear. We
Unbelievable.
didn't want to hear it anyway. It's all right.
So, actually, what I was saying, well, first of all, good morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us live on the House of Nerd Show, afternoon edition, a special edition. I was just saying, I was just saying how if I'm not on my game right now, newborn dad life is killing me right now. It's just pay no mind to the bloodshot eyes, to the bags under the eyes. I love it. I love my little man sleeping. He's next door. So if you hear an intermittent, apologies, folks. That's probably why I had the mic muted. He was having one of his little fist, the little bugger. But we're excited, man. We're excited. We got a big show for you guys today. We got Eisner winning multiple Eisner winning. Chip Zdarsky coming through in just a moment, folks. But I want to give an opportunity to thank everybody for coming through, for rolling through, man. Man, this is a big episode 120. Episode 120. And Mike, thank you so much for coming through. You are one of the contributors on the houseofnerdshow.com website. Appreciate all the great stuff you're doing over there, man. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm glad it's the 1 o'clock edition because I'm on the East Coast, so I really didn't want to. I didn't want to have to get up too early. I have older kids, so I can kind of sleep a little bit. I already went through the new dad stuff, but
Oh,
you only get like the 1 or 2 days a month, not even a week, to like sleep a little bit later. So I was like, all right, cool. I could sleep till like 9 or 10 o'clock. I remember when that was like going to bedtime, but
yeah.
that's waking up late now for me. So now it's thanks for you mentioned the houseofnerdshow.com. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to put my random ramblings on there. It's been great, and just the opportunity to come on today. It's exciting. So I'm excited.
Hey, man. We got Chip Zdarsky in just a second, and we got all the fine folks joining us. Actual Dracula, shout out. Good afternoon. We got Jeff Zombie in the house, of course. Film noir. Love to see everybody in the house. I mean, we got the live chats are popping this morning. We could go on and on. I just want to give everybody uh, a big thank you, man. I love this community, the comic community. You guys make this so much fun. Yes, I know, Cookie. You know what happened? You forgot to remind me to have my coffee this morning. Normally she comes in every Sunday, Cookies with her little coffee. With her little. But it's all good, man. Folks, we've got an up and coming writer. You may or may not have heard of him. Won a few little awards here. Probably the biggest one in his career. 2021 winner, Nerdy Award for Best Digital Series. Folks, you guys voted on it, right? You'll remember a little book called The All Nighter. But he's done a few other things. I think a superhero, or a few of his creator-owned stuff. Let's bring him on. You guys know him as Mr. Chip Zdarsky. Let's go, baby.
Ooh. The problem with your award is there's no physical award, so I can't put it on my mantle, my heavily reinforced mantle. There we go.
Send you one of these bad boys now. You've put me
there we go. Oh, that's a beauty.
Go.
That's a beauty.
Yeah.
Looks just like me.
Eisner, Schmeisner.
Eisner, whatever.
What is that?
So it's all a fix. It's a scam.
Yes. Big time.
Another paperweight.
Big time.
Yeah.
I guess right away we gotta congratulate you, Chip. 2023 Eisner for Best New Series. Big time. Congratulations, sir.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah. It's all weird because I wasn't there. And so I was just following it at home in bed by myself. I'm just like scrolling on Twitter, just like, oh, they announced this, they announced that. And I'm just like, yay. I went back to sleep. Luckily, my trusty editor, Allison, was there to deliver a speech, but I didn't write a speech for public domain. So she delivered my best writer speech, the award that I lost, which worked out well.
Well,
Oh yeah, man.
so no speech prepared for this one. I mean,
No,
we
I
just
heard
got,
through back channels that I was going to win it.
I'm sorry.
Like I heard through back channels that I was not going to win that award.
Oh, no way.
And so it totally threw my whole plan. I'm just like, okay, well, I won't write a speech for that. Why would I write a speech for an award I'm not going to win? Obviously, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I mean, what are we talking about here now, Chip? I mean, multiple, right? So you had for sex criminals.
Yeah, actually, I've got 5 now, which is wild. It's just weird. Yeah, so it was like sex. The nice thing about this award is it's the same award that we won on Sex Criminals when I started like 10 years ago, because that was the best new series that year. So it feels like really full circle to be able to like get this award for a thing that I wrote and drew and colored and did everything on. But yeah, I've got one for Jughead, weirdly, and then Afterlift with Jason, and I got best single issue for the Spider-Man issue that I wrote and drew at Marvel, which was fun. That was the only time I've given a speech drunk, which my editor I don't think he appreciated.
See, and was that for the Eisners there, the drunk speech?
Oh, sorry, you broke up there.
Was that for the drunk speech? Was that an Eisner win or?
Yeah, that was for Spectacular Spider-Man number 310.
Okay,
that was the one that I wrote and drew at Marvel, and yeah, again, that was a surprise. So I just went up with nothing and just like rambled with a glass in my hand. I don't know. It was bad.
And this is why we need to have these Eisners televised, man. We need to catch these amazing. I'm telling you.
Oh God, I'm glad there's no recording of that one. Thank God.
Eisners, hit me up if you guys need hosting duties, man.
Yeah,
we'll work for
there
food,
you go.
for beer.
Yeah, I love it.
We got Casey Parsons in the house.
Casey, I love Casey. Casey and I went to school together. We went to Sheridan for illustration together.
Get out of town.
Yeah. Casey's a great guy.
Oh
and
man,
artist.
That's a fantastic artist, man. Part of the stellar Kirby's comic art team. Man, Toronto Waters do the creatives good here, or maybe it's vice versa. I don't know what it is. Local.
Yeah, and like that's school, especially Sheridan College in Ontario. Like, yeah, Casey graduated from there. Jeff Lemire, Ramon Perez. Kagan McLeod, who I do Kaptara with. Yeah, it's a solid school.
Apparently, not only Eisner winner, but the sexiest man in comics.
Oh yeah, my fresh out of bed look.
The bad boy of comics. Here we go.
Yeah.
No,
I'm thinking I'm more of a bad man of comics at this point.
There's
too much gray in my beard to be the bad boy of comics.
Yeah, you're looking good. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. Keep it up, Chip. And folks, we had planned to have Mr. Jacob Phillips along for the ride with us. Unfortunately, Jacob Phillips feeling a little under the weather, so not able to make the episode with us today. Jacob, I hope you're feeling better. Rest up, my man. And
he will not appear in the same spot that I'm at ever.
So
it's just such bad blood between us.
Is that a restraining order or just
unofficial? But yeah.
What happened was things got so crazy the first time we had Chip and Jacob on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacob said, "I'm not doing this shit again."
Yeah, Jacob's sick. He gets sick because he works too much. So I keep telling him, you work too much. But he's young. He doesn't listen to the old people.
He does well. I mean, one of the books you guys are working on is your number
Newburn.
9.
Yeah, we're back.
Back, baby.
Back, baby.
The start of the brand new arc. Chip, what can you tell us about Newburn for those folks who might be sleeping under a rock.
Well, yeah, for anyone that's never read it or heard of it, it's the book I do with Jacob, where it's about a private detective named Easton Newburn who is on retainer to all the crime families in New York. So he's the guy that gets brought in to solve cases that they can't bring the cops in on. So if there's like a murder or a theft or something between the families, like he's the guy that is brought in to determine who's at fault. He's like a United Nations inspector being brought into like a war zone. You know, he's got the blue helmet on. You're not allowed to touch him. He's the untouchable one in the whole city. So yeah, it was a fun premise, and Jacob and I really like the idea of doing like kind of done in one mysteries and like a procedural feel. So each issue is pretty self-contained, where there's a case to solve, and then he's able to solve it by the end. Which has been a lot of fun because I grew up in procedural TV, Law and Order, The Mentalist, like all those kind of shows, which were they're great shows for days when you're in bed sick, like Jacob is now.
Get better, buddy. Get better.
Better, buddy. Yeah.
No, Jacob's been on the show so many times. I think this would have been like his 6th appearance. I honestly feel like
it's too many times.
I'm sick of your face. I get it, buddy. I apologize. I wanted to talk a little Newburn, but it's okay. We got the writer. We got the writer on, man. Hey, listen.
Well, it's actually nice that Jacob's not here because then he won't be embarrassed when I go on about how great he is, because he's he's an unstoppable machine. Like the fact that he does everything on this book, and he does it to such a high degree of quality, because he's the penciler, the inker, the colorer, and the letterer. And the rest is me. I do like design and writing, but like this is all him, and he's so talented, and it makes me so angry how young he is and how talented he is, because he's doing this, but he's also like coloring his dad's stuff, Sean Phillips, on all of those books with Ed Brubaker.
Yeah,
and he's doing all the work with Chris Condon, like the Enfield Gang Massacre, which is coming out, which is also gorgeous, just a beautiful book.
That's great.
He's doing a graphic novel with like Francis Ford Coppola. Like what the hell, man?
I heard about that. Ooh,
yeah.
Man. Yeah.
He was showing me some of it when or maybe I shouldn't say that, maybe it's all NDA. But when he was in Toronto and he was talking about the process and showing me some of his work on it, I'm just like, it's amazing how much he does, and the fact that he's able to keep it all really at a high quality. So I'm super lucky that he has deigned to work with me again on this next arc.
Super talented. You're absolutely you lucked out there, Chip, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I tried to get in. I tried to weasel my way. I tried to bribe my way into that dinner with you and Jake when he was in town for tea.
Oh, really?
he told me about. He said, "Yeah, I'm heading out in a few to dinner with Chip. We're gonna chop it." And I tried to slip him a little. He wasn't thinking. He wasn't having my money. I just wanted to be.
There were way too many secrets at that dinner. It was myself and Jacob and Allison O'Toole, who's our editor, and she's my editor on everything. And she played the student in my Chip class videos. She gave my Eisner award speech as well. And so it was a real work lunch that we had, just kind of figuring out a bunch of stuff.
Anything that you can tell us, maybe the future of Newburn or some other things you guys might have cooking?
I mean, this next arc is we're kind of like we're moving on the same as we did before. Like I really like the done in one mysteries, but what we're stressing more in this arc is kind of the underlying story of Newburn's kind of rise and fall, because if you read the first volume, you can see he's been pissing off a lot of people, and there's something going on kind of underneath the surface, and so this next arc is basically like, okay, that all comes to a head. Like it's him kind of up against a lot of the members of these crime families, and he's not as indispensable as he thought he was. So so it's fun to kind of like maintain the spirit of those done in ones while also telling the larger story. So I hope people dig it.
I mean, listen, the start of the new arc with number 9, I thought was what I'm loving right now. we find Newburn. He's at a spot where is he too far gone now? Has he gone over the edge?
Yeah.
You know. And then we got this great character, Emily. You know, is
Yeah.
there a way that she can kind of maybe pull him back, folks? If you haven't already,
Yeah. Yeah,
check it
there's a feeling there that like he kind of brought her in knowing that he's going too far. Like he needs
out.
someone to like keep him in check. Yeah, it's been a really fun character to write. You know, I on a lot of my other books, I tend to write like verbose characters. Like if you write Spider-Man, he talks a lot. If you write Daredevil, he monologues a lot in his head. Like to have like kind of a cool, succinct character like Newburn to write has been a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also can I just say too, like the backups, we're super lucky. We've been super lucky this whole time to have really great backups. I've just given some people opportunity to just like do kind of crime stories that they want to do,
Mhm.
and we got my fellow manga splainer David Brothers, who's a really great kind of short story writer, especially with the kind of the crime noir stuff. Um, we have him working with Nick Dragotta,
Mhm.
uh, famously from all of his amazing image work. Just doing an awesome black and white backup story in issue 9, and going forward through the next few issues. Like that's been really cool to see as well. Just to have that part of the package, which you can only get in the single issues because we don't collect those in the trade. So if anyone wants to get some more cool new Nick Dragotta art, they gotta get it in the single issues.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
from the whole series. I mean, you've had. I think this is the third new backup so far in Newburn, right? And they've all been great.
Yeah. This might be. Let's see. We did 8. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then that was kind of part of the project because like Jacob and I knew we wanted to do kind of more condensed stories in the front end. Like
Mhm.
they're all 16 pages of art, and then I have kind of the Emily diaries to flesh out a lot of the exposition there. But we have the space at the back. I'm just like, oh, it'd be so nice to have like uh, maybe creators that you don't see enough of, or creators who just want to take a stab at this kind of genre that they don't get to do that often. And yeah, it's been really rewarding as well. But we also we love single issues, so like keeping those into the single issues has been kind of fun too. So it's like, oh yeah, if you want them, you gotta get the floppies.
I like that. I think it's like a bit of an incentive, right, for the readers, right? I mean, I'm an old school head. I love collecting my single issue floppies. I
Yeah,
mean, trades are cool. Go and pick out the trade of Newburn for sure, guys. But
yeah, it's
Yeah,
good
but
to it's good to incentivize both, right?
yeah, I was gonna say with me, and especially when I because I reviewed 9, because it was the beginning of a new arc. But I even said that in my review where I will go back and read the first arc of it. But it was nice to be able to jump in, and I mean, there's stuff in there that you obviously know that there was stuff that happened before. But
Mhm.
as you said, and I even felt that it had a very feel of like an '80s type of procedural TV show where you can jump in any episode, you can jump in any issue, you
Yeah,
can you can get what's going on, you can enjoy it, and then if you want to go back, you can. I mean, were there certain as you were saying with I don't have the beard right now, but I have the gray in the beard too. So I remember the old '80s TV shows where it was just every week it was something different. Nowadays, it's everything is going to be a nine episode series that's going to connect together. But back then, you could just turn on anything on a certain night and watch it. And I kind of got that feel from this, where you can just jump in and you're going to get like a self-contained story. And if you want to find out more, you can go back. But I mean, was there any certain shows you growing up with that you were thinking back to with this kind of stuff? Or
weirdly, it's less about the ones I grew up with, but like, I think there are still a lot of current ones, or at least ones in the last like 20 years. I'm very old, so um, Law and Order is like the main one, right? That's the one where like dun dun, you get the new
now
case of the week,
Mhm.
and there've
be
been so many
careful. Be
spin-offs,
careful there,
and
Chip. You don't want to go too much into the theme song. YouTube might give us a copyright strike there.
this is true, and my voice can perfectly imitate that sound.
Absolutely.
So Law and Order and all the various spin-offs, and like, I don't know, even something like CSI or CSI Miami, and like The Mentalist, I mentioned that earlier. Like I love those shows that you just kind of dip in and out of. My wife, like, we're huge fans of The Good Wife. And a show like that is great because it's a legal show, so you're guaranteed a court case every week where they have to solve a thing. But underneath it all, it's like, oh, there's a larger story happening with the characters, the main characters. It kind of goes from episode to episode, and that's kind of that's the feeling I like about stuff like this. Even a lot of like the superhero shows, like Arrow and Flash, like all those, like for the most part, you could just go in and watch an episode and you get like the villain of the week. But obviously there's another story kind of happening underneath. Like I think those are they're tricky to pull off, but I think they're the most satisfying. Like I like the ones like I just finished watching The Bear season 2.
Oh,
And like that's not one you just jump in and out of. Like because it's all about the characters. You're just following them on a journey, and those are great as well. But they're just not really, like, I call them like sick day shows. Like like you could just jump into an episode of anything.
yeah.
So what do you do? I mean, working in and out of these because you're working with something like Newburn, and then you're doing like you've worked in Daredevil with Spider-Man. Do you find it easier to do self-contained stories, or when you're working with a character like Spider-Man, you're going to have to work within the continuing story of what's going on, and you have to. So is it easier to write more self-contained stuff, or do you find it more interesting to try to keep to do something that's it's going to continue forever, no matter who's writing it, no matter who's drawing it? But
sometimes the longer storylines are easier because you're basically just coming up with one story, and then you just kind of you chop it up and you kind of pace it out and you make sure there's fun beats in each issue. But to be able to kind of contain something within, whether it's like 20 pages, 22 pages, 16 pages, and have it be satisfying from beginning to end, that I think that's a little bit trickier. But like with Daredevil, it's like I can come up with like a big like overall story, and then chop it up, and every once in a while I'll be like, okay, well this is actually 2 issues, and all of a sudden I got 2 issues worth of content, and because you can lay the groundwork for a whole series, whereas with Newburn it's like I can lay out that longer story, but I know each issue has to be its own thing, and that becomes trickier for sure.
My co-host, who we're gonna bring on in just a second, who's running late, buddy. I see you there in the background. We're running late. He had a great comment. We were discussing Newburn last week. Said it's super tight, man. And I think that's a great way to describe it. Like, not a panel wasted, not a line wasted, not a line of dialogue word. It's so great, and it really it moves. I love this great overarching character story we got. Character arc, but each one, it's telling like the self-contained story. I feel like that's not an easy thing to do. To kind of execute the way you and Jacob have done it. What you guys have done really has made Newburn, just a top tier storytelling. I think it's a masterclass in keeping things tight, but also having this bigger picture, right?
I forget. There's like a famous writer, I think, who said something I'm about to paraphrase, but they said like in a letter that they wrote to somebody, they wrote, I'm sorry this letter is so long. I didn't have time to write it shorter." Which is true. Like it's harder and it takes more time to actually write something shorter than it is longer. Like I think the first few issues of Newburn, my brain is trained in 20-page scripts, or 22 at DC, that like I would write them too long. I'd be like, oh my god, like I gotta get this down to 16 because I promised Jacob they'd just be 16. And that took a lot of effort. There are a few little tips and tricks I've picked up over the years. There's a writer who once basically said like, enter a scene at the last possible second you need to without taking anything away. Because a lot of comics, it'll be like a bunch of characters kind of doing nothing and sitting around and chit-chatting, and then kind of it starts to unfold. But with Newburn, it's like we have to enter each scene in action, like in the moment, like they're about to get answers, they're about to ask questions. Like it keeps it fast paced, it keeps it moving. So yeah, this has been tricky. What a
I'm
beautiful
here.
background. What a beautiful background.
It's fake, Chip. That's why I keep disappearing into it.
Yeah.
And Sergio, it's a hailstorm here in Birmingham. That's what delayed me.
Oh
It's a
my
hailstorm.
goodness.
Oh.
We got Chip
I'd like-
Zdarsky's out in the sticks. You're dealing with a hailstorm. Jacob is down for the count.
I see. Yeah,
Wow.
Jacob's watching. Just to let
Yeah.
Jacob know, I went on and on about how great you were earlier in the episode. So if you didn't miss that, if you missed that, then yeah, that's on you.
Hit the replay, folks. Hit the replay.
Yeah. You can go back and watch it.
And I just wanted to add, to what you were saying there, Chip. You know, and you guys managed to do all of that, and like from scene to scene, it's so smooth. There's nothing like jarring. You know, I know you're saying, you know, like enter the scene at the last possible moment. You know, get rid of any extra, and to be able to do that and have everything kind of just flow so smoothly, I think is just an accomplishment in itself. And folks, man, I know you've got some big names on this book, but besides that, you just want to read good old-fashioned comic booking, storytelling. Check out Newburn. Top tier stuff.
First trade is out there and it looks amazing.
Mhm.
And issue 9 just dropped, so yeah, good time to get in.
That's a great time to get in. And I'm so sorry I missed you on your Canada White Great Canadian tour. I'm hoping the next time, I'll be able to add your name to this bad boy.
Yeah, I signed a lot of Newburns on that tour. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
How was that tour? Did you get to sign any weird requests? What are we talking about here?
Nothing super weird. Because I worked on sex criminals, there will always be a few weird things here and there, which is fine. No, but it was just nice to see people because I haven't done shows or anything since COVID, and also during COVID, my COVID project was getting my driver's license because I never drove before, and so I got it, and I'm just like, oh, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to drive across the country, and that's what started that off. Like I did like 16, 17 shops in a month. Like just driving from Toronto all the way out here to British Columbia. It was like, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you were like, it was pretty much cross country, man. All over,
yeah,
right?
I couldn't quite hit like East Coast, like Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, anywhere like that, because I would have added a whole other month to kind of go there and backtrack. But yeah, it was like a solid month on the road where I would just be like riding in hotel rooms. And then back in the car and off to a signing, and it was awesome. It was so great to see people because you forget that real people read the books. You exist online. You're like, oh yeah, some people on Twitter are angry or whatever. some like it, some don't. But even the good comments just become like just kind of wash over you. You don't really take them in. But actually, like seeing people in person, like passionate about the books and really into the projects. It was super sweet. It was super sweet. Yeah, it definitely made me kind of love my job again.
Any plans for a sequel, a part 2?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I want to do something similar through the States. So I've applied for a work visa, so I can actually do it proper without getting kicked out of America again.
That'll happen.
Yeah. I mean, I have difficulty getting into the country for reasons I won't go into. But I just want to make sure, like, before I start kind of setting it up with comic shops, that I'm not going to get stopped at the border or anything. I want to be able to sail right through. But yeah, no, I love it. Like, I can't believe I went 47 years without driving. Driving's fun as hell.
Hey, I mean, for your first time, like really getting out on the road to do a cross country, I mean, that's no joke. That must have been a little scary too. I mean,
it wasn't too bad. There were a couple of cities where I'd be going into the city and I'd be like, okay, this is a bit much. Like we're going into Montreal, some of the traffic laws are a little different there, and that was a little hairy getting in. I don't think I could have done it years ago without like Google Maps and like cars with like all these like backup cameras and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
picked a good time to start driving, really, because there's a computer that just tells me what to do. Turn right, okay.
Yeah.
Stop, okay.
Oh man.
Yeah,
See,
it
this
was
sounds
super
like
fun.
this sounds like it could be like some kind of. I could see you like writing some kind of like travel log of just like traveling all over the country, just like stopping at different comic shops and stuff like that. That would be
Oh
interesting,
yeah.
actually.
It was it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of repetition because like you're kind of doing the same thing
Sure.
every day in a
Mm.
different spot. But yeah, like having not driven by myself before, I'd never been in a car by myself before, like where you could just like crank the music that you choose and put all the windows down and just like have a blast. That's just
you've been
never
missing
been my
out.
experience. I'm always a passenger. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun. You want to pull over and you want to get a Big Mac, you pull over, you get a Big Mac. You're the one in charge. It's great. It's great. I
King
highly
of the
recommend
road.
it.
King of the road. We got a couple questions here from the audience.
Yeah,
Chip.
yeah, sure.
Figure Drawings asking, is
Oh,
George
God.
Jimenez a real life superhero in disguise? Also, he seems like he draws fast. Is that true?
It's upsetting. So I went to Barcelona just before my road trip to do a show there, and he's from Spain, so he was there as well. And he is gorgeous. He is an absolute dreamboat. And like at one point, I touched his arm, and it was like touching a steel rod. Like he's just like he's ripped. He's ripped. He's beautiful. His girlfriend's beautiful. He's super nice. I was worried about being in photos next to him because I just look like a troll next to this guy. And he's so passionate about comics and so excited too. And he is fast. He's goddamn fast. Like a page a day just shows up, and it's beautiful, like constantly. Like I've had to really fight to kind of like get ahead of him. Like I'm 2 issues ahead right now just because I'm worried about him catching up because he's a machine. I don't know where he finds the time or the energy to like work out and look good and live that life, and also do a comic page a day. He
That's
wasn't
not
even
fair.
it wasn't even a goal of his to work in comics. He went to school to be a phys ed teacher.
Oh, really?
Explains it.
Yeah, and like during those years, he was just like, oh, he liked to draw, so he's like, oh, maybe I'll give this a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's like the top artist in the business. It's insane.
That's
upsetting.
wild. It should be a rule. I mean, to look like the guy you're drawing, to look like Superman. I mean, like that's. I mean, come on now. That's the give.
I know one of
the
the sad secrets of all comic book artists is that they pose for their reference shots, right? Like when I had to draw Spider-Man, I'd take my shirt off and be like, ugh, ugh. And then when I'm drawing, I'm just like, well, where are the muscles? Like I still gotta pull up my anatomy books to like figure out how to draw the muscles. And Jorge just doesn't need to do that. He just like, all right, here's a picture of me being Batman, and he might as well just trace it because it's him. Oh God, he makes me so mad.
He's a beast. He's very upsetting, Chip. It's very upsetting.
Very upsetting.
Let's keep it moving. We got a question here from Actual Dracula. I have a story about a hard-boiled detective named Penis Tracy. Any interest in that for a backup?
Oh God, you know what? Like all of our backups are super full right now. Like that's the problem. That's the problem. I've already scheduled them all. Like I would if I could. The first pornographic film I watched as a child was Tracy Dick in the Case of the Missing Heart-On. So that really brings back that. Oh, you always remember your first. I stole it from my parents' bedroom. I don't know. It was bad. Yeah.
We got Pulp Cult X. Chip class videos were so much fun to watch.
Agreed. Those are so fun to make.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Chris Ryder of Tights, dope indie Kickstarter, live right now, folks. He's saying late to the Newburn party, but certainly jumping on. Love me some Sex Criminals and your Daredevil work.
Sweet.
Yeah, you wrote a little
Chris.
Guy. Yeah, who's that?
Oh yeah, that's a good issue. That's one of the good ones. I like the rest of the garbage I made.
Oh man,
it's not garbage.
That issue really kind of stands out to me just because it's the Elektra reveal, and it's like I was so happy we managed to keep that a secret for as long as we did.
I mean, when it dropped, I think it was huge, man. You'd have to be
Yeah.
like in hibernation not to have seen. I mean, it was just that was pretty massive. What? Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah,
whole
and it wasn't.
writer. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
It wasn't really much of a. I was gonna say I had to fight Marvel a little bit on it,
Oh,
just in terms of how to roll it out, like the marketing of that issue, because they wanted to do a whole thing leading up to it, where it's just like who's gonna be the new Daredevil with like silhouettes and like all these faces of heroes and who's it gonna be. I was just like, oh, people are just gonna be mad, like because everyone's gonna look at those and think, well, I think it should be Iron Fist, and then when it's not Iron Fist, they're furious. But if you just don't let people know any of that's happening, and then it just happens on the page, people were excited. People were like, they got it. It made sense in the story. It was still a surprise. Like, yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I think more comic book marketing should involve not trying to like tease the readers and spoil things before they're meant to.
I think so. One of my pet peeves is reading the solicits, and before the current issues out, like they're already kind of spoiling what's happened, and like 3 or 4 issues down. I mean, how do you balance that? I guess as a writer, and I guess even for your creator own stuff, like your marketer and your own self promoter, all that stuff. I mean,
yeah, creator own stuff's a bit easier just because like you have full control over it. Yeah, like they're it's tricky, like when we're running solicitations for Batman, it's like I want to help DC sell books, and DC wants to let retailers know if an issue's important or something's coming up or this is epic or whatever. So to craft those without giving stuff away is hard. Like I work with them on that. And over at Marvel, like our final issue of Daredevil is coming up, and I don't want it spoiled. Like that's the last thing in the world I want. Like the end of our run on Daredevil directly leads into the new run with Saladin and Aaron. And so Marvel's been really good about that. They've been in promoting Saladin and Aaron's run. They're not giving away too much about what happens and what the new status quo is for the characters. And it's hard. And also like everyone's instinct is just to, like you said, like when you read the solicitations, like, well, why are you reading solicitations?
It's true.
Right? Like because our instinct is like, oh, a new trailer dropped. I want to see the new trailer. I had a friend, and I always remember this. He was like a huge comic guy. He avoided every single trailer, every single mention of Captain America: Civil War. Like he just he went into that movie absolutely cold. Yeah. He's the only person on the planet that did not know Spider-Man was going to show up halfway through that thing.
Oh,
like,
that's awesome for him.
What a wild surprise that would be. Can you imagine watching that movie and all of a sudden like, who's this guy? And like, holy shit, it's Spider-Man? Like what? Like to experience something like in the moment is so rare because we all seek out these things. We all live online. So things get spoiled and then people get angry because they're just like, oh, this is boring. Well, yeah, it's boring because you know everything because you read every interview leading up to this. like you've already written the story in your head.
Exactly.
It's tricky. It's so tricky. Yeah. I try my best.
As you've risen through the through the ranks of comicdom, that a lot of times just your name can sell a lot of stuff. So possibly with certain things, I mean, you don't have to worry about. There's always going to be people who are going to be reading that stuff. But I mean, I also think that I'm sure that if they see your name on it, you're going to have that built-in fan base that people are going to be like, okay, I know what we're going to get, so I'm definitely going to buy this.
But it's never really enough for the big companies like Marvel and DC because they want to sell as much as possible.
Sure.
Like I'm not in a fight right now, but I've got a new thing at Marvel where we're having big discussions about the issue 1 cover of the series. Like I want one thing, they want another thing. They're going to, win because it's their
who normally wins. Like, we own it, you don't, so we're gonna do what we want.
Exactly. So like, so even at my at my level, like I still have to fight to hold things back or fight for certain things in story or visuals. Like my name's not enough to sell as many copies as they want to sell.
Sure.
Also, they're 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 counting on higher sales than normal if I'm on a book at this point, anyways.
So it's a
So they
double-edged
need it.
sword. I got the book, but now they want me
Yeah.
to sell more because I'm on the book.
Yeah, it's true. Like they pay a bit more for me now than they did when I was writing Howard the Duck. Not much, not much. But you know, they're investing more money in it. They're usually pairing me with like some really great artists, and those artists cost more money, right? If we want the best colorist, that costs more money. So the production cost of an individual book that I'm on, like Jorge doesn't work for cheap on Batman. So if they're paying X amount of money to produce that book, they need to really sell a lot more copies than normal. So you never quite escape the. You're never able to coast. You're never able to be like, look at me, Chip Zdarsky. The sales will speak for themselves. Like, no, oh God, no. You got to fight for everything.
Give him hell, Chip.
Show
Give
business.
him hell.
That's what it is.
Show business.
Speaking of Batman, I just real quick, I wanted to you had this what I want to call a comic book triumph sequence. and Marquelon, me and Marquelon have been wanting to ask you since it dropped way back, and I think you know what I'm referring to.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Use the resistance, an all-timer, Batman falling from space and surviving that. My God.
Oh, it's so ludicrous.
And we were hooked on Batman. Like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? We were like, what the heck is this right here?
I know. That was so much fun to write, and so fun to see Jorge every time another page would come in of that sequence. Like, you know, I wanted the thing that felt like impossible in real life, but nearly impossible in comic book life. You know, like there's certain things about Batman we don't question. Like he swings around the city. Like that's insane. That doesn't make any sense at all. So to have him fall from the moon. And to make it just plausible enough, like I ended up talking a lot about that sequence with Ryan North, the writer Ryan North, because he's like, one, he's the smartest guy I know. He's written like nonfiction books about science, and he went to school for computer engineering. Like his brain is just on a different level. So I talked to him a lot about, okay, how would this work? There's no friction in space, you know. So what does G-force mean in space? Like how do you compensate for certain things? Like once you hit the atmosphere, what happens? And yeah, like we figured out a lot of the math about it and what works and what doesn't work to kind of plausibly bringing back to Earth. Yeah, it's such a ludicrous sequence, but it's like it's also the most comic book thing because not that this is like my reason, but like sometimes you just want to make a thing that you know isn't going to show up in a movie. Right? I don't expect in my lifetime there's going to be a movie where Batman falls from the moon to Earth. They're probably not. You know.
Definitely not the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah, exactly. To go, because the fun thing about Batman is that character is so elastic. Like there's so many variations of that character. You can have like street gritty, you know, getting in a fight with like a mugger, but you can also have him firing a gun at Darkseid and then traveling through time. Like you can do like the Bat God stuff, and you can do the street level Batman stuff. You could do Adam West stuff, you know, Frank Miller stuff. It's a very, like I said, elastic character, and being able to kind of like tap into a bunch of that during this run has been a lot of fun. There's a good reason why after that arc we did the follow-up was the Batman of Gotham, where he was just like stripped of everything, and he had to like, you know, home tools and like kind of fight his way out from the streets, because that's the antidote to that, right? You know, we went super big, global, and then we put him in a situation where he's got to fist fight his way out of the trouble he's in.
Make things a little bit more grounded, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's a multiverse story, but it's like it's a story where he's got to go to the hardware store and get some stuff to make some like batarangs, you know.
That's the kind of Batman story I want. I want to see Batman in home hardware. I mean, give me a 30-issue run of that.
Yeah. They're all equally fun to me. Like I don't have a particularly like strong affinity for one version of Batman over the other. Like I have favorite Batman stories, but like, but again, you can do so much with the character. Just like, oh yeah, I love Grant Morrison stuff on that character, obviously because I'm doing a lot of R. I love Scott stuff. Oh my god, like it's just like violent and brutal, but also like really widens the world of Batman. And I love the Justice League stuff where he's like on another planet fighting bad guys.
Anything you can tell us about perhaps upcoming Batman stuffs? Sneak
Sure.
previews, what's going on? I don't know.
Again, I don't want to spoil anything.
Well,
We've got the
really?
Gotham War coming up,
Mhm.
which is brutal. It's awesome, but it's also brutal. There's a lot of like really cool ass fight scenes, like Jorge especially. It's just like, oh my god, you just feel every punch on the page. That's been a lot of fun to do because I'm getting to work with my old friend Teeny from Marvel, and we crafted this kind of epic Gotham story featuring all of our favorite characters. So that's been a lot of fun. I don't want to spoil anything. Well, yeah, you got to one up it, right? Fall from Mars.
You've got to.
Yeah. And like by the end of it, like there's a real status quo change for Batman and also for Catwoman individually. Yeah, and it leads into an exciting next year of stories.
Okay, fingers crossed on that Batman Newburn crossover.
Oh yeah,
I would love that. Actually,
who would win
I
there?
love that.
Who would win that one? I mean, Newburn's pretty badass, I gotta say.
Pretty badass, yeah.
You know what? So I had a little something planned with you and Jacob. I don't know how to a game of knowledge regarding Newburn. We wanted to delve into the psyche of Newburn a little further, and of you and Jacob. Unfortunately, for folks who are just joining us, Jacob is a little under the weather over in the UK across the pond. Hope you get better, Jake.
I mean, I could play me and I could play Jacob because I could do a pretty good Jacob. Just a second. Oi, what's this script then? Pretty good, right?
That is uncanny. That actually sounds just like Jake. Wow. You know what? That could work. Let's go ahead. Let's see how we can make this work. I don't know if Chip, if you have perhaps a pen and paper handy close by, or pencil.
He's a writer, so yeah.
I've got my my computer screen.
Oh, beautiful. You know what? I think Marquelon, you've read the latest Newburn.
Oh, you know I did.
Okay. Perhaps Marquelon and Mike could chime in here with their thoughts.
You guys will probably do better than myself because I haven't read issue 9 in months.
I just read it. It's pretty darn good.
Because it's fresh in your minds. I'm working on issue 14 today, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. So the name of the game is Wanted, and the idea was to Newburn.
Mm-hmm.
You and Jacob, or I guess in his place, Marquelon and Mike, have been put on Newburn's I guess for lack of a better term, shit list. He's after you guys.
All right.
You guys are on the run. You're wanted by Newburn. You got to try to escape. This guy is crafty. So try to escape him. We're going to try to delve into Newburn's psyche. I've got a series of questions. Little game I've put together called Wanted. Here we go.
Wow. Oh my god.
I love it.
Wow. Wow,
And
that's
I gotta
amazing.
say, one of my favorite things about each issue of Newburn is the little floating heads we're treated to at the end of each issue, man. It's great stuff. So let me pull up the slide here. Here we go. Let me know if you guys can see that? I'll put in that bad boy.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh. Where do we go? Please bear with me, folks. Here. There we go. So the first question is after the shocking events of issue number 8, it seems Emily may have to find a way to bring Newburn back from the edge. How does she accomplish this? I've got a couple options here for you folks. So the idea, Chip, was for you to write down what you think Jacob would answer. And then I'd ask Jacob vice versa. Kind of like the newlywed game type deal.
Okay. Yeah.
So here we go. The options being a little hot yoga action.
Gotcha.
How do we bring Newburn back from the edge? Option number 2, a day at the beach with AC Slater and Kelly Kapowski.
Very good.
And option number 3, a marathon, Lord of the Rings marathon, but the extended versions. Please be mindful. We're talking about the extended.
All right.
So, Marquelon, I'm gonna ask you for you to write down as well. You're gonna write down how you think Chip is gonna answer, and then Chip's got his answers ready here, and let's see what we can come up with here. Let's see if we can find a middle ground. And Mike, I'm gonna ask you, any thoughts on this? How do you think Emily brings?
I mean, I'm just transfixed by AC Slater and Kelly Kapowski right now, so I haven't really even given this a thought yet. My goodness,
iconic duo. Yes, sir. You guys ready, Chip?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with you. How do you think Marquelon, aka Jacob, would answer in this situation?
All right, it's gonna be yoga.
Yoga. Okay.
And I only say that because he'd get too riled up from the Lord of the Rings movies, and he would get too riled up from the sexy beach dance party. Those are coming.
You really can't.
That makes sense. So Chip saying yoga is how we bring back Newburn from the edge. Marquelon, what are you thinking, my man?
I put Kelly and Slater. That was too much fun. I couldn't pass that up, man.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like you haven't read all 9. You'd know Newburn does not play around. He's not about the beach, bud.
I know, but I couldn't pass it up, though, man. Kelly and Slater.
Oh, man. How angry do you think Zach got here? I mean, yeah. What do we got next, folks? Next question. The major crime families make a power move for supremacy in NYC. Based on his dining preference, which group does Newburn back? Which group does Newburn back? You've got your options here. A little Russian, Italian dining, or Japanese cuisine. Those are your options.
Wow.
Let me know when you gentlemen are ready. Mike, any thoughts here? What are you leaning?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go Italian because growing up, especially on a Sunday, that's what my grandmother's dinner table looked like when I would go over there every Sunday. So
I love it.
I gotta go Italian. That was like every Sunday and Wednesday.
I love it. And for folks who are watching at home live or on the replay in the live chats, please play along. Let us know what you're thinking. Newburn is going with Chip.
I'll let him go first, so he can find out if he's right or wrong based on.
This is Marquelon.
I did put Italian. I did put Italian on there. So.
Okay, well, interesting, because I put Japanese, and so my reasoning for that is it's easier to hide poison in Italian food. Japanese, if you go simple, some nigiri is like it's the rice, it's the fish. You can lift the fish to see if there's anything in between, but it's pretty straight up. Pretty straight up. And also, Newburn is very refined. He appreciates the order of a Japanese meal.
I like that. I like that.
Makes
Makes
sense.
sense. Too easy to hide poison,
Too
folks.
easy to hide poison in Italian.
It's good to know.
Keep in mind, folks, all these answers will become Newburn canon. This
Yes.
is canon.
Yes, you will not see it. You will not see a dime, but yes.
He's telling you now, Sergio.
Uh-oh.
It's been recorded for the world to see.
I got a next question. Speaking of NYC supremacy, what are we going to find in Newburn's Spotify playlist? Who does Newburn consider hip hop's king of New York, baby? This is a tough one.
Wow.
We got a little Jay-Z action,
Okay.
Biggie, or perhaps Nas. Now there is a correct answer, but I'm not. I'll leave it at that. Mike,
I think he's gonna go with Biggie, but that's just me.
Yeah, you think you're going a little Biggie action? Okay, a little juicy action. Okay, all right. Marquelon,
Well, is that
go ahead, sir.
Marquelon?
Yes.
I got Jay-Z.
Oh,
Jay-Z, Empire State of Mind.
very interesting? Because the answer is actually Jay-Z.
Woo!
He respects the money more than anything. Newburn.
Exactly.
Okay.
Jay-Z is richer than God.
Approaching it at least, at the very least, man.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's got stacks on stacks, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, and the correct answer was Nas. The correct answer
This
was
is great.
Nas.
How you gonna tell the writer of the clip?
And what's your reasoning? What's your reasoning?
He's the GOAT MC. I mean, he started the whole, the peak of New York City rap. You know?
There's a difference between being
Also,
between the facts and what Newburn is interested in.
Oh, also, I got
Gotta
a little
remember
tidbit here. Little tidbit. We've got Lauryn Hill. Emily seems to be a fan of Lauryn Hill. If you folks go back to issue number 6, I believe.
It's true.
Lauryn Hill, Nas collabo on a couple joints. I feel like Emily's influence.
I feel like that's their common ground.
Yeah, Okay.
All right, I'm changing my answer.
Thank you, sir. Again,
Against me.
folks, this is canon.
Yeah.
Next question. We've got Newburn is faced with the same dilemma we have all been struggling with recently. Which film have you watched first?
No, you will not let this conversation go, bro.
I will not. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, I did see Barbie last night with the family, and Oppenheimer I saw on Monday by myself. He'd definitely go see Oppenheimer first.
Oppenheimer first? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm not mad at
Doesn't seem like a Barbie type of guy, but I mean, what do I know?
We could be surprised here. Gentlemen, do you have your answers prepared?
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to go first?
Got Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Okay.
I got Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
let's see what the actual writer says.
You're correct. It's Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Oh, 2 in a row. You gentlemen are in a row.
I mean, okay. Technically, the answer is neither. He doesn't have time for such trivial nonsense. Like, he does listen to music because he can do that while he works, but he can't. He's not going to go into a dark theater.
Yeah.
It's too risky.
Yeah.
It's too risky. He'd sit at the back with all the perverts, and he wouldn't appreciate that either.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Sweaty, musky. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Nobody needs any of that.
No.
I think we've got a couple more here. The tables are turned on Newburn. He needs to acquire a fake passport, to start a new life. Where does he go? What are our options, folks? Toronto, but with a 90-minute ice skating commute to his new job as an adult toy tester, or London, where he has to swim the River Thames each day to his new job as a fortune cookie writer. two fantastic career opportunities
Mhm,
for Newburn. This is what happens, folks, when you take things too far, and you've earned the wrath of the crime families, and your choices,
all
your
right.
options are limited. What are we thinking, Mike?
He'd probably go to Toronto because I think he would not expect people to think that he would be working as a toy tester.
Hmm?
So I'm going to go with Toronto on that one.
Okay. Chip?
Oh, all right. I'll weigh in. It's Toronto.
Go ahead, Joe.
Toronto, baby.
It's Toronto, and I'll tell you why. One, Newburn, he's not really a creative type. So writing fortune cookies, like they'd all be the same. Just be like, you'll die, just like everyone else dies. Like they'll just be the same. The sex toy testing, he does appreciate things working well. So I think he would really kind of put his all into that job and ensure that they are of the highest quality.
He's a serious man. Newburn does not play around.
He doesn't play around.
Now, Chill, is this comment here for me or is that for Chip? You need help? Curious. Actual Draka thinking he would go to the theater to watch Tracy Dick and the Case of the Missing Hard-On. Interesting.
There you go.
Okay.
Actual Dracula gets to the heart of it all.
That's it. Chip said it's a real movie.
A real movie.
Oh,
at least it was when I was 14 or 13.
Oh man. I think a couple. There we go. Bonus question here. What is the name of the book that inspired young Emily to want to become a detective? I'm going to ask Mike and Marquelon first because I have a feeling Mr. Zdarsky will know.
You were wrong.
I
don't remember. I remember it being there, but I don't actually remember it.
Now, Marquelon.
I totally don't remember.
Oh my goodness.
No, I mean it's discussed in the issue about her, but I don't remember it.
Okay. Chips, any thoughts? Care to weigh in?
God, all I remember is it took me a long time to come up with it. I don't actually remember it. I remember being proud of it, but I don't actually remember what it was. What was it?
Casey, according to Casey, Anne of Green Gables. It could be.
Could be.
It could be.
Encyclopedia Brown.
Let's find out, folks.
You might as well say the three investigators at this point.
Dead Perp Blues.
Dead Perp Blues. Yes.
Is the right answer.
The body's told a tale that only he could.
I love it.
There you go.
Jacob
I love
Phillips.
it.
Beautiful work on full display here.
I forgot it's a Dick Marcus thriller.
How to win friends and influence people.
Yeah.
This is true.
There you go.
She's pretty good at that. Beautiful.
And that's it, folks.
Good job.
Newburn 9. Available now.
I very much appreciate the high quality of this.
Thank you, sir.
It's always a joy to see your presentations.
I very much appreciate that. I probably, having a Newburn, I probably should have tried to catch an extra wink last night, but I said, no, we got to keep this production quality top notch, baby.
Obviously.
Only the best for Mr. Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips.
The Toronto-London question definitely reeked of someone who's not getting a lot of sleep lately.
I said if one of them were to piss off either Chip or Jake, I said that'd be the one there. Thank you for.
No, it's a great question, but it's also just like that's like a fevered mind.
Oh man, the sleep is severely lacking here. Folks, Newburn, number 10, 11, coming to you soon. Look at these great covers from Jacob, man. This guy, he's not playing around. And if you think that's great, the interiors are that much better. What did I say? Issue number 9, available now.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. He's
Are we
so
getting
good.
another 8 issue volume, Chip?
Yes.
Newburn, or-
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
we're putting out 4 single issues, maybe taking a month break so Jacob can catch up, and then another 4, and then the collection.
Okay.
Yeah, happy.
Very happy. Very happy. We had to wait a while, but well worth it. Well worth
Yeah.
it. Jacob, is he slacking? Is he not hitting his deadlines? What's going on? I mean,
No, he's hitting his deadlines. I'm mostly just worried about him, just because he's
Oh.
doing so much.
yeah,
Yeah,
doing so
like
much.
he's
Speaking of,
yeah. I'm like, oh my God, it's
what
gorgeous.
a holy jumping,
Yeah,
folks. This is what
yeah,
we're talking about here. Yeah, I had the
yeah,
chance to read number one. Wow,
yeah.
Chris,
It's
another
beautiful.
fantastic writer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're such a good team. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm the second guy in Jacob's life. Chris is always gonna be number one, but I get it.
Oh man, if you're
He's
two,
just that
what does
good.
that make me? Oh man, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. What? Oh, excuse me. Regarding wow, brain fart. Regarding Newburn, collected in a second volume, 8 issues, and the current single issues monthly. We can fans can check them out. Readers can check them out.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Public
Public
domain.
domain. Woo. Yeah, that's coming back soon. The I've been publishing the new issues on my Substack, and eventually it'll be coming out through Image as well. I'm just about finishing issue 8 right now, which is exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, it'll drop first on the Substack.
Yeah. Like issue 6 already come out on the Substack. Issue 7 is wrapping up on the Substack right now. Yeah, I like to get them all kind of in the bank before I start to solicit through Image, since my day job of writing Batman can take up some extra time.
That darn Batman.
That darn Batman really gets in the way.
Okay, and hopefully we get a fall from Mars in the next.
Yeah.
I love it. That's honestly, in all seriousness, that's gonna go as an all-timer of I think iconic action sequences from Batman. It was
fun. It was fun to do. Yeah, I like to make sure like every issue's got like some sort of cool Batman thing in it, which makes sense. Batman's the main guy.
One more time, folks. Let's give it up.
One day I'll hold it.
How do those bad boys work? Does Allison she bring it back with her? Or do they,
she's got it. She's bringing it with her to. She brought it with her to Toronto, and then I'm back in Toronto late September, so we'll do the pass off, which would be nice.
I've got a necklace.
They're so heavy. I lost one years ago.
Stop.
My Sex Criminals one, because I pulled it out for my first Zdarsky, which is just me on a trolley in the street, and and I with a friend I bolted it to a table so people could touch the 𝐬𝐸𝐸𝐸, and I think we lost it in the rental van. That's the last place I saw it.
Really?
Yeah, and I always love the idea of somebody renting that van or cleaning the van and picking up an award that says "Sex Criminals" on it with no context.
I'm gonna be keeping my eyes peeled on the local Kijiji Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, man, I never even thought of that somebody might try to sell it. But yeah,
I have a feeling someone doesn't know what they have on their hands there. Headline: Batman writer says Batman gets in the way.
Batman, that guy, so demanding.
Chip, I want to thank you so much again for taking the time out of your day.
My pleasure.
I know. Can only imagine how hectic it can be. Eisner Award-winning Chip Zdarsky, folks. If you haven't heard of him already, I mean, that win has got to cemented it there.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, any return to crossover? This was a great issue.
Oh, that was so fun. It's funny, on my cross-country signing tour, I signed at a store called Crossover Comics in Montreal, and so many people had that issue to be signed. I guess they went all in on crossover.
That's great. It's great. I loved it, man. I loved it. Thank you so much, Chip, for
Thanks, guys.
coming through. We always love having you here. It's an absolute pleasure. And Jacob, we hope you're feeling better, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, because you got deadlines, man.
Gotta hit those deadlines, buddy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chip.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. There you have it, folks. Mr. Chip Zdarsky. Look at that.
Woo.
Awesome.
Woo.
Oh, he's still in. Let me.
He
Okay.
doesn't want to go.
I know he doesn't want to go. Hey, thanks so much, man. Chip is great.
Oh,
Fantastic.
that was awesome.
Yeah. There you go. A little thanks, Chip action. I just want to see how long he sticks in the green room. I love it. This is my favorite part of the show. There you go. He's folks, man. Hey, if we gotta get Marquelon back, and he's asking me to send. I see your private, your DM. I'm gonna try to. Marquelon, where did you want me to send it to, bud? Let us know. Thank you to everybody who's joined us in the live chats, man. That was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to, Marquelon, you gotta let me know where you want me to send that link. I mean, we're sitting there. Hey, look at that. Look at that. We got Jen in the house. Great show. Chip is what a trip and a half, eh? And I really want to do, I feel like it's got to happen. The next Batman has got to fall from like Mars.
Yeah, seriously.
Or Saturn or something
Yeah.
crazy. You know?
I mean, after the moon, you have to come. Yeah, you got to go. You got to do like Saturn. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay, Marquelon saying send it on Twitter. Will do, buddy. I'm dropping you the link right now, man. And folks, we crossed 700 subs on the channel. Super excited about that. I just want to thank the community, for coming through. I think it was late last night. I put a little post on the socials. We were at 699 and we're like at 706, 707, something like that right now. Thank you guys. I do have a giveaway planned, man, for the community. I want to put together something dope.
Back,
baby. You're
I'm
back.
It's crazy today, man. Every issue is happening today.
Hey, man. Today is one of those episodes. Like this is a perfect storm. Like legit.
It's like one of those episodes where you were out, and like we just never knew what was going to happen. Oh, what's going to happen?
Oh man. So before we went live, we're talking with Chip. And he's legit out in the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So his internet connection was super sketchy. And I said, oh, like cutting in and out, freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Said, oh, this might be a bit of a challenge to do this interview. But we made it work,
Is it another story about Rogers? Because I had no idea what Rogers was until I started talking to y'all.
Nothing to do with Rogers this time, thankfully.
Okay,
or maybe it could be. Hey, thank you, Actual Dragon. Thanks for coming through, man. The community came out, man. I love to see it, man. Yeah, so we hit 700 subs. I'm gonna put together a dope giveaway for you guys, man. Just a show of appreciation for you guys supporting and showing love to the channel. Yes, Cookie, a day one. Love to see it, man. Yeah. I'm gonna see what I can put together. But yeah, definitely want to show some love back to the community, man. What's Jeff saying here? Sorry, I've been kind of quiet this show. Been watching while taking care of chores around the house. Hey, my man, no need to apologize. I get it, baby. I get it, man. I overstand. Almost didn't make it myself. Yes. Yeah. Man, that was a whole lot of fun. Some surprising answers there from Chip and Newburn.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised by some of those answers, but I'm happy I was able to agree with him. You're good, Sergio, but he actually writes the book. So
I gotta be honest, I was getting a little upset there at the Jay-Z selection, and you guys both went with Jay-Z. I got very upset, to be honest,
because I knew it was about the money. I knew that already. I'm like, man,
come on, man.
I knew that was about the money, and like I said, I have people who argue down about Nas. I see your point, but I have people who argue down about that, though.
Oh man, I said, listen, it's gotta be Nas. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Hey, you know what? I might even have to throw this bad boy in the giveaway. You know?
That's
Why
nice.
not?
That's a
It'd
good
be
one to give
fitting.
away.
It'd be
But you
fitting.
know what I liked about him? I liked that he explained the business behind comics, because that's, you know, with the writer strike and that scratch, it's a business. We forget it's a business. And
Yeah.
like, DC like, well, we just want to sell books. We hired you to sell books. We, you know, you a name, but like, we need you to sell books.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. That's movies, that's comics. I mean, you want the artistry to come through, but I mean, the bottom line is they want to move units, they want to sell stuff. It's about making that money. So it's got to be tough to work within that, and you know, try to be artistic and try to get your vision across while you know that you still have to make money for the company that you're working
Right.
for.
Because they like, you want to surprise people, we want to sell books. And if people know Electra's going to be Daredevil, we can sell a bunch of books. You know, that's what they think.
And his Daredevil runs it's like next month. No, that's coming to an end, or like in a
Yes,
couple
it's coming
months?
again, because the last issue came out this month. I mean, the penultimate issue came out this month. So
Okay.
next month should be the final issue. And
Man.
Saladin Ahmed's taking over.
Jeez, how many in that? Like, because it's like 2 volume. Well, like what, 60 issues in total or more, maybe?
That seems about right, because he started. I don't
Probably
remember
more.
who he took over from. Maybe he took over from Mark Wade. Maybe I don't even remember now. But you know,
4 or 5 years on that.
that seems about right, because you know, and I wish I had a chance to ask him, like, you know, because everybody leaves Daredevil in a worse position or a messed up position when the next writer takes over. Have you noticed that over the past probably 10 years? Like Bendis started it, and then like everybody else like, oh, when I get ready to leave the book, I'm gonna put him in a messed up position. So y'all should run the star.
Yeah. Hey, how great is public domain?
Public domain is good, man. I think it's like it's about the business of comic books, and I mean, I really like that, you know.
Yeah. I started reading it. I only read like the first issue when it came out on his Substack, like way back, and then I had the opportunity to finish it up recently, and holy jumping.
So you're ahead because you're reading on the Substacks. I think I'm actually reading the physical issues.
Yeah, so I ended up finishing it on actually digital.
Okay, yeah, because
Hey guys, can I go with the theme of the episode? We were talking about adulting a little bit earlier. I have to go adult real fast. Can I just say thank you for having me on today before I run off of here?
Yeah, man.
And again, thanks for the opportunity with the website, with everything, man. This was hopefully this isn't like the last time I'm on.
Nah, Mike, once you in, man.
No.
we don't jump you in now, man.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go an adult, but I wanted to thank you guys for having me on and let me talk to Chip and all this kind of stuff. It was great, man. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for coming through, Mike, and we're definitely gonna get you back on, eh?
Thanks, man. Thank you, guys.
Buddy. Have a good one.
Take it easy, Mike.
Man. See ya.
Hey, Chris, thanks for hanging out in the chats with us today, man. Folks, Chris has got a fantastic Kickstarter live right now. Tights, the comic book. I had the opportunity to read the first couple. This is no joke. Fully polished, man. Really great stuff. Fun is the best way I can describe it. Check it out.
Sergio says the book is fun because, you know, I heard y'all had a good time. Was it Friday?
Friday night. Chris was on Friday night. Yeah. I
saw Chris that he missed me being on there Friday night. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing. Probably something with my girlfriend. I don't know. Okay. That seems like I would have been doing something like that.
Okay. Yeah, man. No, it's we had a great time. We had Adrian Kaleric, creator of Trakovi from Scout Comics. He hosted the episode. We had Chris from Tights, Pat from Punch Publishing. He's the creator of Pop Scars. And then we had Brendan from Sequential. Listen, folks, Sequential Magazine, a dope Canadian made indie magazine covering Canadian indie comic artists. They've got a crowdfunder right now. Check it out, man. You know, we had a great time on Friday hanging out with these guys. And you know, that's what we're trying to like do here on the channel, man. Just, you know, have fun, you know, get guys like Chip Zdarsky on, but like, you know, at the same time too.
You're trying to find the next Chip Zdarsky, and I'm
Exactly,
looking at
man.
Chris's,
You know,
looking at Chris's crowdfund. I mean, yeah, Kickstarter right now for tights.
yeah. Chris is
That's an interesting premise. I'm looking at it right now. He had like a video on here and everything. I'm like, okay.
Oh, buddy, definitely highly recommend it, man. Yeah, I was really into it, man. So yeah, you know, hopefully you guys enjoy the content. You know, 120 episodes. I feel like we gotta do at least 120 more, man. And thanks.
120 episodes in the can now.
It's crazy. And thanks to, you know, Marquelon and you and Elle and everybody else who's come in and stepped in. Like, we haven't missed a Sunday show, man.
It's been fun. We've been trying to keep your streak going, bro. It's been fun.
Keep going. Because in April we're gonna be coming up. I think we're well over 2.5 years now. So I mean, you know, small channel, but we just try to have fun with you guys, and hopefully, you know, we keep growing and we're able to bring you.
And I love that. I like the chat get so much love on Upper Chat, because we were both on in the comments for Spoiler Kings this week. You know, they both shouted us out like, "Hey,
look at that." I was saying hello in the chats and you were ignoring me. I said, "Oh my god, man!"
I said I responded back to you, but I had to try and get my stuff in, because I think something was trying to, like, I get on Spoiler Kings early because normally I get late, so I'm getting here early. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so many dope folks doing great things on YouTube. I saw Chill in the live chats earlier, man. He's blowing up. This stuff is always fun.
I mean, Chill's always interesting, but especially his love for recasting Black Panther shows no bounds ending. I'm like, all right.
That guy's ruthless. He shows no mercy. He's gonna ride that train. Hey, I meant to ask Chip, so I'll ask you, what are you guys reading recently, man? Because honestly, I've just been life so far behind on my reading. I haven't had the opportunity to catch up on like new stuff or like recent stuff. And folks in the chats, let us know in the comments or in the chats, man. What is making your top list these days, man? You know, yeah, I gotta get back on that train.
Shoot, I'm looking right now, man. I mean, I would say, and you probably seen it on Twitter, even if you hadn't read it. You know, everybody's talking about the Hellfire Gala, X-Men. I'm sure you probably see people on Twitter talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably is the most. I've been an X-Men comic book reader a long time. They've taken a lot of L's, but of all the L's I've seen them take, it's probably the worst one I've seen in a long time.
Oh, really?
I mean, basically, you know, I heard people like, this is like the red wave X-Men style. That's what people compared it to.
Yeah, I don't, man. The X-Men, to get back into that stuff is that's like a whole,
man. I tell everybody, there's no better time. It's the internet. You can sit up and watch X-Men videos all day on YouTube and be caught up. You can actually read it digitally and be caught up.
Yeah, this is true.
But,
but you know what I heard is, I didn't realize. So Kirkman's he's got a book called Void Rivals, or
Void Rivals is part of the Energon universe. You know,
I didn't realize that this was a Transformers book.
Well,
I'm sleeping under a rock.
I started in the shop, and shout out to West, got around my LCS Sanctum Tattoos and Comics. I'm like, what is this? The first issue of the Energon universe? I'm like, Energon, is it Transformers? He said, yeah. So I just bought it. I'm like, well, I flipped through it. I said, okay. I saw, like you said, I'm not going to spoil what I saw. But I bought the first issue. And I got the second issue. And now apparently they're getting ready to release Transformers next month or so. And I think G.I. Joe, I think Kirkman may have G.I. Joe as well. Maybe.
Wow.
He may have G.I. Joe as well.
Really,
which ties in well, because we've seen, Rise of the Beast War, Rise of the
Beast.
So I'm okay.
So and this is from Skybound, which I didn't realize that they had the rights to the Transformer IP. I thought that was IDW.
I mean, they got it from IDW.
Oh.
No, back in the day, and I was talking to Marcus, who I've had on the show, he's like, man, I said, at this point, do we still consider Image independent? I mean, they are, but they aren't. Because Image, just...
Yeah, Image is so massive. I mean, I don't really consider them an indie label anymore. I mean, what they're doing for creators is great. They create their own comics, but at this point, they're so massive that...
I mean, but you have Dark Horse, who's still in the race. They still in the race, but Dark Horse, when I was growing up, man, Dark Horse had all those IPs. They had the Predator. They had aliens. You know, they had all that kind of stuff. You know.
Now, Jen, I've really wanted to read this. I got super excited. Ed Brisson, who's a Canadian, and then I believe Hassan. Get a shout out to always. I'll never miss an opportunity to shout out the Canucks. I believe Hassan is the letterer on this one, right? What did you think, Jen? Good debut. Did it live up to the hype? Because that looked really cool.
Oh, that came from ADW, AWA.
Yeah.
I said AWA. I think I did see or miss that one.
Chill is agreeing with you, saying Hellfire Gala was a mess. Man.
I mean, but you know, they set the stage for a story. You know, how long it's gonna run? It's gonna run for how long it runs. But you know, they set the stage.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I gotta chill. You gotta read more indie stuff, man. You know, that's where it's at, baby. You know.
Well, you know, and let me say this, Sergio. My top 3 was Hellfire Gala. My number 2 was World Tree, and my number 3 was Newburn. Newburn number 9, because I mean that Newburn was tight, man. Tight. Like I said, you know, I was having issues getting in, but I would have said that. I said, you know, Chip, go back and watch the rewind. Hey, man, you are consistently good on that book.
Yeah. And you know, I've been seeing Jock's teases of his book Gone. That looks just gorgeous.
I saw that on the cover of previews this month, Distillery. Yeah. I saw that. I was like, okay, what is this about? I just saw Jock and I said, what is this about?
Yeah. Hey, Dan Price, thank you so much for coming through. It was great having you in the chat, man. Hopefully you can join us again. Normally we go Sundays every morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Man, we love to have you. Love having the chat again, man. Thank you for everybody who joined us. I had a question for the distillery stuff. Who knows that are they releasing those? Like, is it like a digital only thing and then print, or like how is that working?
That would actually be smart though. They did that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, World Tree is good.
World Tree, yep. Jen, if you're digging World Tree, I got a little something for you. I'm gonna shoot you a DM a little later. Actual Dracula saying Void Rivals is Transformers and GI. Oh,
so I wasn't sure about the GI Joe part, but I knew Transformers for sure.
Okay.
So I mean, Kirkman for Skybound have gotten the IP for GI Joe and Transformers is a huge win, man. I mean, because I got a feeling, especially with Barbie doing so well, they like, oh, we can make money off these toy properties again. I got a feeling that's gonna come.
I feel like Transformers and GI Joe is like the perfect playground for someone like Kirkman.
But he's not gonna be writing. I think.
Oh, he's not writing.
I think Daniel Warren Johnson is gonna be writing. I think.
Oh, okay.
Who's coming off his win off of what's the wrestling book I love? I love that wrestling book. He just
folks, the live chat they're smart, man. What is Daniel Warren Johnson's wrestling book?
Do a Powerbomb.
Do a Powerbomb.
I love
who's first? Yeah, who's first?
You're right. Dark Horse did have Star Wars. They did have Star Wars.
Yep. So like these IPs, like I know IDW's got Star Trek. Oh no, you're saying Star Wars.
Yeah,
I mean, Star Wars is all over the place.
Still have Star Trek, you know, but I feel like somebody told me there was a rumor that IDW may have to give it. That's what they're relying on for their money right now.
Star Trek.
You know, and Star Trek got nominated for an Eisner too. I mean, it did get nominated. You know, Star Trek 400.
Okay.
So that's probably their best-selling title of Star Trek books.
And actual saying the Energon universe includes GI Joe. That's pretty cool. And folks, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler at this point. If you watch The Rise of the Beasts,
it's on Paramount Plus now, ain't it? I think it is.
On streaming. Holy jeez, man!
I mean, they don't waste no time, man. They got to make. I love what Chip says. It's about money, man. And as much as we love this stuff, it's about money. And now with these algorithms in place that show, well, you can make more money if you put it over here. I think that's where we are right now.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta pick. I mean, I have to make time for this Energon universe. I feel like that's gonna be too much fun. And if Daniel Warren Johnson is writing it, for sure. I saw. Did you see I think it was a SDCC exclusive for Transformers.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see it.
Oh, gorgeous! And then I'm seeing everybody flexing on the socials. They managed to snag a copy. And I'm just
It's
like,
Sergio freeze now.
am I freezing? And actual Dracula saying Joshua Williams writing a G.I. Joe book as well. Whoa, so they've got some heavy hitters. Warren Johnson, Joshua Williams. That's crazy, man. Hey, I think we lost you, Marquelon. You're frozen, buddy. Is that just me? Folks in the live chats, help me out here. I've only had one coffee here. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man. Connections aside, this was a whole...
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I was wondering, I said, I don't know if that's just me or what.
I didn't know it was you or me either, but I was all right.
I like to sleep, man. So that's good. So you know what? I'm definitely gonna check out Jen's recommendation, the sea assault, because I've been wanting to read that regardless. Yeah. And then see, it was you. Don't put that on me, Marquelon. Don't do
I
that
said it was me when I came back in.
Come on, my man. Don't do that.
You know I'm having all the problems today, man.
Listen. Hey, so you know what? Next weekend, next Sunday, let's do a 700 sub giveaway episode, man. We're gonna have some fun with that.
Okay, I'm curious to see what you're gonna give away, man.
Put something together. Yeah, man. I gotta put something nice together for you guys, man. Love this community. It's always fun being a part of these live streams and getting to hang out and talk with you guys, man. So thanks for all the support, guys. Anything else before we get out of here, Marquelon?
Nah, man. It was good. We got to talk to Chip Zdarsky about Batman. He knew what we were gonna talk about because everybody talked to him about. You see that.
Like
I said, I knew he had talked to Ryan North about it because I saw him say that somewhere. I talked to Ryan North, and he said it would work. I'm like,
But you know what's great about comms is that's one of those. I think I said it when we reviewed it, Marquelon.
Yeah,
is one of those. I don't get too many just moments of pure maybe joy or like surprise or like, oh my god, type of shit. But I got that from that Batman falling from the moon. I'm like, this is not like, how are you doing it? But like,
and like literally, I was hooked on that book. And I still read it and I still enjoy it. And really, we should talk about this Batman 900, which, he talked about Batman as a elastic character can be somebody that Batman 900 illustrated that because he did Adam West Batman. He did like Frank Miller Batman. He did all the different versions of Batman in that Batman 900.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah.
Chill saying we should change the title of the stream. Chip Zdarsky interview should be the first one. Is that an analytics thing? I might have to take your advice because Chill stuff is blowing up, man. His numbers are no joke. I'm just waiting for the day he forgets about the little YouTube streamers. He'd be like, come on now, bro. He's saying, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make that change, man. Folks, next week we're back to our regular time, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm gonna put together a fun little 700 subscriber giveaway for you guys, man. Thank you everybody for coming through. Appreciate y'all. Smash that button, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Otherwise, if Marquelon gets mad at me, I know you take a look at the analytics page and we say we're not getting enough growth.
Man, I'm happy you're up to 700 people, man. That's an accomplishment, man. That's an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment. You have people looking at your stuff consistently. Now you just brought me out. I see how much work it is on these shows behind the scenes. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be here for the ride. And
look at Elle, always coming in at the last possible moment, trying to be the last comment.
Making a late episode.
Folks, don't let her be the last comment. Just slip in a anything. Make it a late episode. No, you're gonna wake up like the rest of us. Or
Sergio never goes to sleep because of the baby. That's what it is.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? Actually, the earlier mornings they probably work better for me now because I'm up at that time anyways, like the whole night. So now, like at this time is when I'm probably trying to take a little nap or something. Finally, no, get out of here. She said no. Elle said no. I'm always up. I was up like at 4 a.m. But she's degenerate levels.
But I mean, but Elle's also in a different time zone, so she's
Yeah.
like in Pacific Standard, I think.
Pacific.
So like she's like 4 hours behind everybody.
Jen, I'm gonna hit Jen up after this show ends. Jen, hey man, I appreciate
Well,
it.
let me ask you this, Sergio. Next week, is Blue Beetle out next week?
Oh my God, is that already out next week?
I think when it like the 1st of August, like the first weekend in August.
Damn, sneak up. August just absolutely snuck up on us, eh?
Okay, man. That's what I'm trying to say. So I know you been very excited to see that. Nope, I'm sorry. August 18th.
August 18th. Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. I like.
She's asking why am I not a mod? Why am I? Al, you're not around the show enough to be a mod. Okay.
I thought you were, man. That's my answer.
My God, yeah, you gotta. I swear to God, I've done like one episode with Al in like the last 6 months. You better stop.
Well, I mean that's more you than Elle though. She been here. You hadn't been here.
Oh my gosh, folks, we're in line. We need a new co-host, new host, whatever you want to call it, man. Okay, Al's been slacking. She's saying I got demoted.
Nah, Elle is the executive producer, the line producer. That's what she is.
He asked me not to open it. And like an idiot, I'm throwing the comments up because then people are gonna start believing this shit, bro.
So Elle is the executive producer of the House of Nerds show. She's the line producer.
Oh man, we miss you here, bro. You gotta come on. Are you on next week? Are you on next? Who's on schedule next Sunday? You on?
It should be me because I was off this week.
Okay, true. But still, I was gonna come on. We're gonna do a 700 thing. We're gonna have some fun. Maybe put together some shenanigans, man. Maybe we'll do a day drinking game.
Day drinking thing. Okay.
Hey.
That would be fun. It has to be later here because I'd have to buy ahead of time because we're dry to a certain time here today to like 12.
I fucks with Al, but who's to do with the cap? That's cold, Holmes. That's cold. That's okay. That's okay. Bring in. I love Al when Al's people's come through, man.
Yeah,
another element that chaos.
My mouth. I like.
Okay, we're gonna get out of here. So Void Rivals, CS Altons, I gotta check that out. Okay, and Marquelon, I sent you those review copies, man. Let me know what you think about the madness. AWA, another.
I did read. I did read that. I'm Straczynski fan, so I'm curious to see what's gonna come next.
Okay, folks, that's it. Let me hit that outro. Let me hit that. And I was trying her hardest to be the last comment. For shame.
Man, let Elle be the last comment. Elle, anytime you want to come on, you heard from me. You can come on. You want to be there next week? You can.
Oh my goodness. There we go, folks. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. If you joined us late, go back to the top of the episode. We had Chip Zdarsky. Lots of fun, man. We got dope creator interviews coming up in the works, in the pipeline, and some other big news in the works. We love y'all. Appreciate all the support. We out of here.